is founded on mutual trust between customs authorities and business entities, delivering reciprocal benefits through official recognition of reliable business partners, sustained by continuous investment in compliance and security measures to maintain trusted operator status.
Another milestone in 2025 is strengthening the implementation of advanced ruling through strategic engagement with key stakeholders. The Trade Facilitation Initiative, which commenced in July 2024, together, both initiatives advanced a clear reform objective: predictability, transparency, and efficiency in customs procedures. The Nigeria Customs Service intensified stakeholder engagements nationwide. Importers, agents, manufacturers, and border communities were brought into direct conversation, not as observers, but as partners.
It is our intention to listen to you very patiently, and we brought our agents so that they will also be aware that we are all equal partners in this project.
Guided by the principal customs and stakeholders as partners in national development, the engagement strengthened compliance culture, clarified policy direction, and rebuilt trusts across the trade ecosystem. The service convened a donor and development partners conference, drawing international organizations, technical partners, and development agencies. Held under the theme Sustaining Customs Reform Through Strategic Partnerships, the forum focused on digital transformation, border modernization, and institutional resilience. The message was simple: reforms must be locally driven, but globally supported. Customs Vehicle Management System media reforms led to the deployment of the Customs Vehicle Management System (CVMS), a digital platform designed to verify the duty-paid status of imported vehicles.
Across all areas of our operations, we are deploying innovative technology-driven solutions to simplify processes, improve transparency, and enhance revenue.
The system strengthened revenue assurance, transparency, and enforcement efficiency, thereby restoring public confidence in the vehicle import process. As illicit fuel distribution threatened economic stability and national security, the service intensified Operation Whirlwind. Through coordinated intelligence and inter-agency collaboration, customs disrupted illegal supply chain linked to criminal networks. The enforcement message was firm: economic sabotage undermines national security.
Our operational tempo will continue to accelerate as we deploy next-generation surveillance capacities and expand our community engagement initiatives in vulnerable border communities.
Arms, narcotics, prohibited items, and falsely declared consignments were intercepted, affirming customs' role as a frontline security agencies committed to border integrity and public safety. Across operational commands, the new indigenous clearance software known as Unified Customs Management System, also codenamed Bodogu, delivered results.
We are now to set global standards and to show the rest of the world that this is how it is done. And one of the things that we do at that stage is to give our stakeholders opportunities to provide feedback on what we do, to ensure that we foster partnership that works and that provides results that are mutually beneficial to everybody.
In October 2025, the service took another significant step aimed at easing trade and reducing cargo dwell times. The commencement of the installation of 6 modern non-intrusive inspection scanners at Apapa Port, Tinkan Island Port, Murtala Mohammed Nnamdi Azikiwe, and Malam Aminu Kano International Airports marked another phase of the Nigeria Customs Service's modernization efforts. The initiative aligned squarely with the trade facilitation goal of speed, safety, and efficiency. At the center of these developments, here comes a global recognition. The election of the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeni MFR, PhD, as the chairperson of the World Customs Organization Council, the highest decision body of the WCO. This marks another milestone, as it is the first time a Nigerian has occupied such an enviable position. Corporate social responsibility under the Customs Care Initiative assumed a new dimension with interventions aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals, in line with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Renewed Hope initiative.
The program specifically is intended to support the 8 priority areas outlined in the agenda, while simultaneously advancing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs). Inspired by the 2 frameworks, we are focusing on 6 key pillars, implementing a rich mix of activities that will be carried out in all our areas of operations, including, of course, but not limited to our border areas.
Public relations took a center stage as the NCS initiated a reputation management campaign with the launch of a reputation management handbook across its headquarters and 4 administrative zones.
In a world where public trust shapes legitimacy, how we are seen is as important as what we do. As officers and representatives of this noble service, we cannot afford to ignore the reality that reputation is now a strategic resource, one that must be nurtured, protected, and deliberately managed.
In November, the Nigeria Customs Service hosted the first ever Customs Pact Summit, a high-level policy dialogue platform designed to promote intra-African trade.
To the Comptroller General and the Nigeria Customs Service, your work on customs modernization, the national single window and AFCFTA commitments reflect the practical, system-driven approach our continent requires.
The purpose of Customs Pact 2025 is fourfold. We want to establish a strong customs framework that promotes lawful trade, enhances security, and drives sustainable economic growth across Africa.
Here comes the 2025 CGC's conference. Internally, the Comptroller General of Customs spearheaded another conference themed Building Future Partnerships, Lessons from the Customs Pact. The conference is designed as a strategic internal reflection platform, enabling the service to translate the lessons from Customs Pact into a unified operational culture, aligns modernization priorities with workforce competence and leadership continuity.
This conference is about partnership. I would expect that we'll have a shared understanding of what internal partnerships means in practice, not the abstract concepts, but the concrete mechanisms on how command and headquarters coordinate, how departments collaborate, how information flows, how decisions get made and implemented.
In 2025, the Nigeria Customs Service demonstrated that reform is not an event, but a journey. As we usher in 2026, the World Customs Organization's International Customs Day 2026, themed Customs Protecting Society through Vigilance and Commitment, reinforces the service's journey, sustained by pragmatic leadership, deliberate partnerships, and consistent innovation. As the service looks ahead, it remains resolute in its mission to facilitate trade, secure borders, strengthen revenue, and uphold institutional excellence in the service of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. That was a summary of what transpired in 2025, leading us to the vision for 2026. As soon as we have the special guest of honor, the event will commence. Well, we should start. With the kind permission of the Chief Host, the Comptroller General of Customs, shall we all rise for the national anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. After the count of 3. Multimedia, after the count of 3. Please, go ahead.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland.
Please be seated. The special guest of honor, the Honorable Minister of State for Finance, Dr. Doris Uzoka Anite, the Chairman House Committee on Customs, Honorable Leki Abejide, the Chief Host, the Comptroller General of Customs, and World Customs Organization Council Chairperson, Bashir Adewale Adeni, PhD, MFR, DSM, FNIPR, FNIIA, PSC, DAGA. Representative of heads of military and paramilitary organization, the Inspector General of Police, ably represented, representatives of ministries, department, and efforting in Nigeria, Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industries, Mine, and Agriculture, NASIMA, Chairman, Director, National Trade Facilitation Committee, shipping lines, terminal operators, managing directors and chief executives of companies here present, Sea Empowerment and Research Center, Association of Nigeria Customs License Agents, National Association of Government Approved Freight Forwarders, NAGAF, the Customs Consultative Committee, National Union of Road Transport Workers, senior officers here present, other stakeholders here present, distinguished invited guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I am Deputy Comptroller of Customs, A.A. Maiwada, the National Public Relations Officer of the Nigeria Customs Service, and the Master of Ceremony for this auspicious occasion. I will be assisted by Assistant Superintendent of Customs, J.O. Adejo, from the Public Relations Unit of the Nigeria Customs Service. On behalf of the Comptroller General of Customs, I am pleased to welcome you all to the 2026 International Customs Day, an official launch of the time-release study at the Ladi Kwali Hall of Abuja Continental Hotel. Today marks a great milestone in the annals of the history of the Nigeria Customs Service, as this particular January, that is 2026, is not only for the ICD celebration, but also for the official launch of TRS, marking a two-in-one event. The theme for this year's ICD celebration is Customs Protecting Society through Vigilance and Commitment. The team underscores the dedication of customs officers worldwide to the core mandate of border security, revenue optimization, and enhanced trade facilitation. Once again, Permit me to welcome you all to the 2026 International Customs Day celebration. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to invite Assistant Comptroller General of Customs, Nafiu Isiaku from the Strategic Research and Policy Department of the Nigeria Customs Service for a welcome address. ACG, sir.
The special guest of honor, Honorable Minister of State for Finance, Dr. Doris Uzoka Anite. The Chairman, House Committee on Customs, Honorable Leki Abejide. The Chief Host, the Comptroller General of Customs and Chairperson, Council Chairperson of the World Customs Organization, Bashir Adewale Adeni, PhD, MFR, DSM, FNIPR, FNIIA, PSC DAGA. Members of the diplomatic corps here present, representatives of the military and paramilitary organizations here present, the Inspector General of Police, ably represented by AIG Zone 7, Victor Alea, representatives of ministries and heads of other government agencies here present, members of the management team of Nigerian Customs Service, members of the Manufacturer Association of Nigeria here present, other distinguished invited guests, good morning. It is my honor and pleasure and privilege to welcome you to this important occasion, which marks the 2026 International Customs Day, which combined with the official launch of the time release study in Nigeria. Your presence here reflects our shared commitment to a modern, efficient, and responsive customs administration. International Customs Day globally is observed on the 26th of January annually, and it offers customs administrations the opportunity to reflect on their mandate and their impact on national development, trade facilitation, and societal well-being. The 2026 WCO theme is Customs Protecting Society through Vigilance and Commitment, and it speaks directly to the realities of today's trade environment. One which is shaped by complex supply chains, emerging security risks, and rapid technological changes. In this context, the Nigerian Customs Service remains firmly committed to protecting the society through effective border management, robust risk management systems, and intelligence-led operations. In the same vein, we recognize that security and trade facilitations are not competing goals. When properly balanced, they strengthen each other and contribute to economic growth, public safety, and trust in government institutions. The launch of the time release study today is a clear demonstration of this balanced approach. The TRS is a practical and globally accepted World Customs Organization tool, which allows us to measure how long it takes for goods to be cleared, at the same time identify delays within the clearance process, and then design targeted reforms based on factual evidence. It as well reinforces our commitment to transparency, accountability, and data-driven decision-making. This study has been carried out with the active cooperation of stakeholders across the trade ecosystem. The findings here will guide future reforms within the Nigerian Customs Service and support broader national efforts to improve trade efficiency and competitiveness. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Comptroller General of Customs and the management team of Nigerian Customs Service, you are once again warmly welcome to this occasion. I wish us all an insightful interaction. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this welcome address, ACG Nafiu Isiaku. In our midst, it is my honor to recognize the President of Custom Officers Wife Association, Mrs. Kikelemo Adewale Adini, and members of her entourage. Please, a round of applause for. It's time for the speech of the WCO Secretary General, Mr. Ian Saunders. Multimedia, please.
Good morning. International Customs Day is also an opportunity for the World Customs Organization, as the voice of the global customs community, to highlight a specific area in which our community can take collective action. This year, we are elevating the profile of customs as a protector of society, and to demonstrate our dedication to safety and security, the WCO's theme for 2026, Customs Protecting Society Through Vigilance and Commitment. Guided by this theme, I call on WCO members to broaden the public recognition of how their steadfast service supports and safeguards the communities they serve. Indeed, even with our prominent position at the border, the indispensable contribution customs makes to the security and welfare of societies worldwide is not commonly understood as part of the agency's mission. We need to demonstrate that strong and well-equipped customs authorities are indispensable to national and international security, public health, environmental protection, trade facilitation, and supply chain integrity. We can showcase operational achievements, underlining the practices and tools enabling them, and demonstrate the value of information and intelligence sharing, regional and international cooperation, capacity building, risk management, detection equipment and data analysis as cornerstones of safeguarding our society. Customs' protective mandate is not limited to enforcement against illicit firearms, financial flows, narcotics, and unsafe goods. It also extends to advancement of public health and safety, environmental stewardship, disaster response, and overall security. As more effective protection of society demands a unified response, we also need to show how building partnerships with other administrations, governmental authorities, law enforcement and intelligence agencies, international organizations, non-governmental organizations, and trade and logistics operators brings an important added value in securing our borders and global supply chains. I encourage members to actively participate in WCO-led operations and to make full use of WCO standards, guidance, and tools that are tailored to the needs of customs administrations. The strength of our vigilance comes from our using all the tools at our disposal. Our shared narrative must convey that customs actions do more than disrupt criminal operations. They preserve the security and well-being of entire societies. Together, by highlighting the decisive role customs plays and presenting it through compelling, relatable storytelling, we will strengthen public understanding of our mission and reinforce the value of what we do. Building on the collective momentum created by last year's theme, let's continue to tell the stories of the positive and crucial work carried out by customs. As we undertake these efforts, we should remain mindful that the goals we are pursuing are substantial and intricate. Our ability to engage, influence, teach, and inspire our audiences is strongest when our narratives are based on facts and achievements for the betterment of society. When our efforts bear fruit, society sees that wherever there's a border, there's customs, working to deliver on its commitment to protection. I wish you all a wonderful International Customs Day.
That was the remarks by the WCO Secretary General, Mr. Ian Saunders. It is customary to recognize the exceptional roles of officers and men, along with stakeholders, towards actualizing the principles of the themes of successive ICD celebrations. Today is also not an exception. In the course of this event, officers and men, and stakeholders will be recognized with the WCO Meritorious Award, signed by the WCO Secretary General, Mr. E.L. Saunders, for their various roles in promoting efficiency, sustaining anti-smuggling drives, as well as contributing to a prosperous nation. On this note, it is my honor and privilege to most respectfully invite the Comptroller General of Customs for presentation of awards to our esteemed officers and men, as well as stakeholders. Please join me to welcome the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeni, MFR, PhD. Yes, sir. The first awardee is the Comptroller, is a Comptroller of Customs and the Customs Area Controller in charge of the Premium Port, Apapa, Comptroller E.O. Oshoba. He is awarded for the exceptional performance in the course of his duty as Customs Area Controller in charge of Apapa Area Command, high-value seizures, as well as effective revenue optimization. Next is DC OA Omini. Sir? Comptroller, sir. The OA Omini served across several commands nationwide, notably officer in charge of CFAX Bonded Terminal, and he has also contributed immensely to the success of the Nigeria Customs Service. We are going to summarize the success story so that we'll finish in good time. So my apologies for the rush. Assistant Comptroller of Customs, A.A. Moshud. Next is CSC H. Mohammed. A.A. Moshud played a very key operational role in preventing illegal wildlife trafficking, thereby reaffirming the Nigeria Customs Service commitment to wildlife conservation. Please join me to welcome CSC H. Mohammed. Sorry, there is a confusion in the list. Next is CSC A. Salihu. Chief Lieutenant of Customs Salihu has distinguished himself as a highly vigilant and committed officer in export operations. His sustained vigilance has significantly contributed to the enforcement of export regulation, safeguarding national economic interests and forest resources. Please join me for a resounding applause to him. Next is CSC A. Sule. CSC Adamu Sule exceptional vigilance in protecting society against trade and border threats. The officer has consistently demonstrated a high level of alertness and professionalism in the discharge of his duties. Please, CSC A. Sule. To represent
phone is not with you. My phone is here. From Niger. What is his name? What is his name? Chosen by JT Peters, something like that. Thank you. Announcing the arrival of the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment. Next is CSC Saluhu. To represent him is SCJT Peters. Because of the nature of his terrain, he was unable to meet up with the event. Please, can you come forward? CSC Adamusule is exceptional in protecting society against trade and border threats. The officer has consistently demonstrated resilience in the performance of his statutory functions. Next is CSC. She deserves a resounding applause because she's a household name in strategic research and policy. CSC P. Zagi. She's a household name in strategic research and policy department of the Nigerian Customs Service. She demonstrated exemplary vigilance, professionalism, and commitment in advancing evidence-based customs administration in line with World Customs Organization theme. CSCP Zagi played a critical coordination role in the data processing of the World Customs Organization time release studies, a globally recognized diagnostic tool. Next is CSC AAE Iniko. CSC EAE Iniko is a disciplined, versatile, and highly professional Nigerian Customs Service officer whose career reflects vigilance, integrity, and commitment to national and global customs objectives in line with WCO theme. His leadership is marked by professionalism, accountability, effective supervision in high-risk environment. Please join me to applaud. Next is CA1 JC Ogudre. He is another officer deployed to the anti-money laundering unit of the command. He joined the Nigeria Customs Service in 2021. He demonstrated exceptional vigilance and professionalism in the discharge of his duties, particularly in profiling and examination process at international airport, thereby contributing significantly to the prevention of illicit financial flows and protecting unlawful cross-border movement. Permit me to invite PTML Terminal Manager, Captain Inisa Silva, to come forward for... Is Captain here with us from PTML? So let me move to NMDPRA.
What is the name? Now, next categories is stakeholders. PTML Terminal Manager, the Customs Area Controller in charge of PTML Command will collect on behalf of PTML. Please, can you come forward? CSC PTML. He is a terminal manager of Port and Terminal Multi-Services Limited. He provided the command with information that led to the seizure of 100 kg of cocaine at the PTML command with a DPV of 29.4 billion, demonstrated the resolve of the command at the terminal to protect the country, borders, and citizens. Next is NMDPRA Grace Awajash Dauda. When you hear Operation Whirlwind, the success of Operation Whirlwind is also tied to the interaction and relationship with the NMDPRA. She is under Operation Whirlwind. Mrs. Dauda has been instrumental in coordinating the intelligence sharing between the two government agencies, which led to significant seizures of petrol attempted to be smuggled out of the country. Next is NDLA Tukur Muhammad. He is the commander NDLA Apapa. The commitment of the personnel has been instrumental in coordinating intelligence sharing between the two government agencies, which has led to the significant seizures of drugs attempted to be smuggled into the country. Please, a round of applause for NDLA, please. Next is EFL Logistics. Mr. Yemi Odunola, the manager of he is recognized for his constructive and responsible contribution to the import value chain and his sustained commitment to compliance, efficiency, and transparent trade in Nigeria. Under his management, he has distinguished himself leading to end-to-end logistics service provider delivering innovative solutions. Please, a round of applause for him. Permit me to invite Calabar Chamber of Commerce. Calabar Chamber of Commerce. Mr. David Etim. Mr. David Etim, please. Well, we have another Etim that can collect on his behalf. Do we have Mr. David Etim? He's not here with us.
Let Etim come
Where is the customs area controller for Calabar Cross River Command? He can come forward and collect on behalf of Calabar. I think that's the answer. Yes, sir. Please, a round of applause for this distinguished honor. This is an award signed by the WCO Secretary General, Mr. Ian Saunders. A round of applause for them once again. May I invite multimedia to refresh us with just a minute interlude, please. An animation, please. Please, animation, can you please go ahead, please? That is the wrong. We have 2 videos you have to play back to back. And animation for ICD, please. In our midst, while we are sorting the multimedia issues, may I use this opportunity? Come. You have a very beautiful handwriting. The President of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, man represented by Mr. Adeyemi Folorunsho, MNI, Director, Abuja Liaison Office. You are most sincerely welcome. In the absence of, we are having some technical glitches. Are we ready? So may I invite the Deputy Comptroller General of Customs, Strategic Research and Policy Department, DCG, Dera, Nadi, MNI, for the presentation of the outcome of time-release studies in Nigeria. The DCG, sir. That applause is for DCG. We need MNI DCGs, please. Applaud, please.
The Honorable Minister of Trade, Industries, the House Committee Chairman on Customs, the Comptroller General of Customs, other distinguished invited guests, permit me to specially recognize our partners in this project, the World Customs Organization, who are listening online, and of course, UK's His Majesty's Revenue and Customs, who partners with us in this project. May I also recognize specially every member of the National Trade Facilitation Committee who are here present, and indeed, members of management of Nigerian Customs Service and every custom officer and our esteemed stakeholders who are the direct beneficiaries of the presentation we are going to make here today. While we wait for the multimedia team to get ready with the slides, permit me to give you an overview of why we are here today. Port inefficiency is a critical drag on national competitiveness. And through this study, we've been able to find out that there's an estimated 3 trillion naira economic cost attributed to ports inefficiency in our clearance process. Of course, we all know that the dominance of maritime trade in our economy contributes to 90% of trade in Nigeria. And of course, the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development confirmed that there is a direct link between port inefficiency and cost of goods. And of course, for us, it is strategic that we address this if we must get part of our initiatives that have been outlined, particularly starting from this year to 2027, the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Let me say that this initiative is supported wholeheartedly by the World Customs Organization Council Chair, Dr. Bashir Adewale Adeni, the Controller General of Customs. Permit me to read one of the speeches he gave to this. He said, "The TRS marks a significant step forward in Nigeria's journey towards data-driven reforms. The challenge before us now is implementing and translating insights into reforms in order to create smarter, faster, and more transparent border clearance systems. This is the main reason why we are here. As we all know, in the past, every opinion about how long it takes to clear cargo from our ports has been based on non-data-driven opinions. And therefore, we have decided, with the cooperation of the World Customs Organization and His Majesty's Revenue and Customs, to conduct a scientifically based research on how long it takes. While we also wait for the multimedia team to come up, because I was the chairman of that committee, I can give you an overview while we wait for the data to come up. We have found out that 84% of clearance time spent in our ports is spent waiting. We also found out that 99% of our cargo are examined physically against international best practices. It is sad that only 1% of our cargo, based on this study, is examined through the non-intrusive cargo examination. Again, if we must summarize what we have here, we find out that it takes just 44 minutes to scan one container, and then it takes an average of 3 days and 14 hours to examine one container physically and release it from the ports. Distinguished guests, this is what we are going to find out. I will not bore you with the modalities that we adopted in getting this done, but I should be able to give you some of the outcomes of the results, give you some of the recommendations that we've made as a team, and of course, the implementation guidelines and timeline for us to collectively address this challenge in order to reduce the clearance time in our ports. Multimedia, if you are ready, let me know. If you are not ready, please indicate so I can continue. The multimedia people are not ready. Therefore, permit me, this is a journey that is dominated by idle gaps. Let us start, for instance, when it comes to declarations and assessment, the active time spent in the port is 30 minutes. For booking and inspection, active time spent is 50 minutes. And for customs examination, with other government agencies, we found out that active time spent is 5 hours. Multimedia people, if you are ready, I will be very glad if you provide a laptop here so that I can use your laptop. But if you don't have the laptop, permit me to stand against this to use this. I've given an overview of what we are here to do, and therefore, this is what we have, what I was just trying to explain to you. You can check here, part of this place. Sorry. Here, this is summary of what we have. Why do we have 3 days and 14 hours? Because 98% of the cargo examined out of the 601 survey sheets that were given yielded 3 days, 14 hours, 34 minutes, and 29 seconds to move out of the port. However, we had a very ugly scenario where just 8 declarations contributed to 4 days, 21 hours, and 42 minutes and 40 seconds. What this means is that these particular 8 declarations, the number of days spent clearing them was ranged between 46 days to 84 days. Now, if you also look at the one we have here, you notice that 43% of consignment remained in the port for more than 10 days before final exit. The longest recorded clearance time for us was 118 days idle time, and this is not too good. At this juncture, I will request that we go to the multimedia. Please take us beyond the processes to the recommendations that we have. Next. Very good. No, please go back to the recommendations. Okay, let us start from the key challenges. Initially, when we started this exercise, there was exchange rate systems that were, no, please go back. Go back, please, good. Exchange rate, but this has been largely addressed through the economic reforms of the federal government. No, please. We also had the problem of stakeholder apathy, which we are going to address, and then we'd have the process idle time for the SGDs. And we recommended key solutions to this. Number one are the solutions that are here. I won't bore you with them. You can read them. Please, next. We also tried to find out the number of hours it took for joint inspection, then recommending that there should be, TRS reform tax team, and we also have the ICT network as one of the recommended solutions, all with the timelines recommended from first quarter up to the last quarter of the year. Please, next slide. We found out that one of the key areas where we had delays was in terminal delivery order and in joint inspection. Why is it so? It is unfortunate that even at this time of our clearance process, we have not achieved seamless and joint examination of cargo. Cargo examination is still based on sequential process, which means that agencies come at different intervals to get their cargo examined. One key area too is the issue of terminal delivery order, which has not been automated yet by our stakeholders, and I believe the shipping companies and the terminal operators are here, and it will be most appropriate if during the recommendation of what should be done by them, they take note. Next is the centralized truck appointment system. We invited Nigerian Ports Authority, and part of the reason why we invited them is that the automated tracking system for trucks is still not optimized, and it is hoped that we will get that achieved through and the recommendations that we have made after this exercise. Next, we have here government, go back. We made some recommendations based on what we can do. Some recommendations are for the government. We said that there should be coordinated border management to be driven by government. Those responsible for this will include Nigerian Customs Service, other government agencies, and of course, the private sector. And our recommendation is that there should be a technical implementation team that will be based under the payback office, who will supervise this. And then we also have the data collection unit for customs, and of course, there will be a monitoring unit to monitor our set KPIs when we finish getting the KPI set by the TRS task force. Again, we also have interagency coordination, clear accountability, and structured monitoring as one of the expected deliverables from this. Next slide, please. We said that there should also be strategic capacity building and recommendations. During the study, we spent about 3 weeks trying to educate stakeholders on what TRS is all about. Therefore, we recommended that they should develop a nationwide TRS awareness program, publish quarterly TRS bulletins, and then take stakeholders clearance on clearance best practices. And then we also recommended that there should be policy alignment and linkages to be anchored by PEBEC and the ACFA Secretariat, among others. And of course, there should be a performance dashboard that should be available to the relevant ministries like Ministry of Trade and Industries, Nigerian Customs Service, and Ministry of Finance. And then, of course, the Ministry of Blue and Marine Economy to monitor performance. And there should be trader incentive schemes to be worked together. We have seen NASIMA here, alongside NASIMA, when the committee that will be set up under the National Trade Facilitation Committee and PEBEC unit. Next slide. The strategic impact of this is that this awareness will coincide with further TRS studies that will be conducted across our ports. We also found out that there should be next steps that will be taken. The expected impact of TRS recommendation, if properly implemented, is that we will reduce clearance time by 40% and reducing it, therefore, from the 4 days that we found out now to at least 2 days. And the economic impact of this is that we are going to save the nation 3 trillion, as has been said by LCCI, that we are currently losing. Again, the global impact is that Nigeria will position itself for ACFA, for the World Trade Organization Trade Facilitation Agreement, and of course, meet the PEBEC initiatives. Next step in this, sorry, it is better we read those ones out, but thank you very much for paying attention to us.
I'm sure the DCG deserve another resounding applause for this wonderful presentation. If you need a copy of the complete report, it's available on www.customs.gov.ng. So the full report is already on the website of the Nigeria Customs Service for download. Thank you very much. May I invite the multimedia, please, to give us the message of the WCO Secretary General, Mr. Ian Saunders, please.
Good morning, honorable ministers, members of Nigeria's National Committee on Trade Facilitation, and Comptroller General of the Nigeria Customs Service, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you from the headquarters of the World Customs Organization, where we are also celebrating International Customs Day. To all of the colleagues in NCS, please receive my best wishes and gratitude for your service on this special day. For those who might not be familiar, International Customs Day is celebrated each year on January 26th. It's the anniversary of the founding of the World Customs Organization, the institution that enables 187 customs administrations to work together to improve the state of customs practice worldwide and to address the challenges that confront us all in an increasingly complex trade environment. But more importantly, it's a day that allows us to pause and reflect on the contributions that customs makes to society, to celebrate the accomplishments of dedicated officers, and to share our stories beyond our own community. It's a day that helps to remind us of our purpose and to be proud of our commitment to that purpose. In this context, this event commemorating the completion of the time release study at Tin Can Island Port is very appropriate for International Customs Day. You have come together to consider a study report that provides specific and objective insight into how border clearance processes work at Tin Can Island. The report's findings offer information that will enable Nigeria to make equally specific and objective improvements, and in so doing, strengthen the economy and safety of your country. The time release study that was undertaken, with the support of the World Customs Organization's Accelerate Trade Facilitation Program, is an important step toward achieving more transparent, predictable, and efficient border processes. The TRS is one of the WCO's key performance measurement tools, one that has helped create greater efficiency and continuing safety and international trade. The TRS presents an opportunity to realize the goal of evidence-based policymaking in a specific operational context. It offers the chance to create identifiable and positive results for Nigeria. Achieving this goal, however, is bigger than customs alone. It's an endeavor that requires all of you gathered at this event and many more beyond these walls. Just last week, I had the privilege to attend the World Economic Forum in Davos, representing the World Customs Organization. Trade facilitation is a topic that brings many people, organizations, and interests together because the ability of international trade to serve as an engine for economic development is something that is widely recognized. Easier trade, and I would add safe trade, is something whose value is widely appreciated. It strengthens economies, creates brighter prospects for companies of every size. It improves livelihoods and quality of life. It shores up the connections between nations and peoples that are helpful in a time when challenges abound. Achieving trade facilitation, however, isn't just a matter of writing the clearest or well thought out policies. It's about implementing such ideas through consistent, efficient, and sound practice. The practicalities, or what I often call the mechanics of trading, are what ultimately make the difference. Trade facilitation is about taking action. It's about everyone who is involved making changes to do their best. Policymakers, customs, regulatory authorities, and the full range of private sector actors. It's about saving time and money, managing and lessening risk, and creating predictability and supply chain resilience, and making all of these things the norm. This is the space in which customs is working with the trade community and others every day. It is also the space in which the TRS is most helpful by showing what areas are working well, those points in the process that can be improved, and mapping responsibilities so that the right people and organizations can be engaged to create positive change. The TRS report, simply put, is made for all of you gathered here. It gathers the realities of current operating conditions at Tin Can Island Port in a form that allows you to identify successes as well as those areas that can benefit from your attention, leadership, and investment to help strengthen Nigeria's position in international trade. The TRS is a tool for focusing the partnerships that are well established through your National Trade Facilitation Committee and the relationships underpinning the attendance at this event. It's a catalyst for developing plans for shared success. It's an opportunity to coalesce around a goal that is concrete and unquestionably in the national interest. It's a basis for driving results, the kind of results that are part of International Customs Day celebrations around the world. Results that show the benefits that accrue from customs commitment and vigilance every day. You have great reason to be proud this morning. Proud of an agency and workforce that endeavor tirelessly to support the safety and prosperity of Nigeria through trade. Proud of leadership that is committed to making deliberate improvements through the use of international standards and best practice. Proud of establishing a strong community to transform policy intent into consistent, real-world practice. In these efforts, the World Customs Organization stands with you, pleased to support with its expertise and guidance, and looking forward to the results I know you will create together. Congratulations on the completion of the time release study, and best wishes for a happy and fruitful International Customs Day.
Thank you very much for the applause. The UK government, specifically Her Majesty's UK Customs and Border Protection Agency, have been very responsible for support as well as funding for some of these projects. And it's very important that I invite the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Mr. Richard, represented by Ms. Mujina Kane-Doma, Head of Trade Policy and Market Access, for your brief comment. Please, a round of applause for the representative of the British High Commissioner to Nigeria.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to stand on existing protocols. On behalf of the British High Commission, it is a privilege to join you today for the official launch of Nigeria's time release study and to celebrate this important achievement on International Customs Day. The United Kingdom is proud to support this important work through His Majesty's Revenue and Customs, HMRC, in partnership with the World Customs Organization through the Accelerate Trade Facilitation Program. Today represents the culmination of strong collaboration, technical expertise, and Nigeria's own leadership in driving forward trade facilitation reforms. The TRS is not just a technical exercise. It is a powerful diagnostic tool that helps countries understand with precision how long it takes to move goods across the border and why. By identifying bottlenecks and opportunities for improvement, the TRS provides a clear, evidence-based foundation for modernizing customs, improving predictability for traders, and reducing the costs of doing business. For an economy as dynamic and strategically important as Nigeria's, efficient border processes are essential. Faster clearance times strengthen Nigeria's competitiveness, support small and medium-sized enterprises, and encourage investment. They also benefit consumers, industry, and government alike. I want to commend the Nigeria Customs Service, the TRS Technical Working Group, and the WCO experts who have worked tirelessly to deliver this report. Your efforts demonstrate a strong commitment to transparency, reform, and continuous improvement. The UK remains a committed partner in supporting Nigeria's ambitions for a modern, efficient, and secure customs system, one that facilitates legitimate trade while strengthening economic prosperity. Congratulations once again on this milestone. We look forward to continuing our partnership as Nigeria takes forward the recommendations and builds an even stronger foundation for trade and growth. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this wonderful speech. The history of Nigeria Customs Service Act 2023 cannot be completed without a very strong man who is committed and very passionate about the development of Nigeria Customs Service. Join me to welcome the Chairman, House Committee on Customs, Honorable Leke Abejide, for his remarks. A round of applause for him, please.
The Honorable Minister of Trade and Investment, Mrs. Jumoke Oduwole, the Comptroller General of Nigeria Customs Service, Dr. Basiru Adewale Adeni, MFR, DSM, FNRPR, FNIIA, PSS, DAGA. The Deputy Comptroller General of Customs here present, all the HCGs, Custom Area Controllers. Let me stand on well-established protocol. I am not on the list of those who are to make speech today. Otherwise, I would have prepared a very powerful speech. But I listened to the time series analysis made by the DCG. Something is missing, which I'm going to say. But before I say that, when I saw this program, what came to my mind, part of it was what was read by the Secretary General of World Customs Organization. And he said, I'm going to just read it out, just as a very brief statement. He said, indeed, even with our prominent position at the border, the indispensable contribution customs makes to the security and welfare of societies worldwide is not commonly understood as part of the agency's mission. And that is what people are saying. So I was just wondering, how would the society look like if customs is not there? Even despite that customs is working, doing very well, positioning themselves well to secure our borders, you can see what we are still facing in Nigeria today. How much more they are not there. So customs needs to be part of the security, I have told CG this, and I made this on the floor of the House. Whenever they call the security meeting, they always leave customs out. Is it when the illegal arms come into the country that you are going to fight the war, or you prevent it? Which one is better? They usually say preventive is what? Better than cure. And what is missing in that time series analysis, thank God that the minister is here. I will be happier if the Minister of State for Finance is here. But I want to say, federal government of Nigeria has a good intention to reduce costs, especially for goods that are of importance to the society. For example, when you talk of the pharmaceutical companies, when you talk of the agricultural machineries, so they made a policy that when you are bringing these items, you come through import duty exemption certificates. But what the ministries do to this policy has made the policy to become nonsensical. The time that it takes to process support letter, just to get support letter from the ministry, and the time that takes the IDEC office to process this document, and the time that takes the final ministry to give approval, which is the Ministry of Finance, combined together is double the time it takes the cargo from China to arrive to Nigeria. And the beneficiary of all these delays are the terminal operators and the shipping companies. The great losers are the stakeholders, like the licensed customs agent, the importers, and the federal government of Nigeria. So I have it in my mind that when we resume, we will invite the Minister of Finance, Minister of Trade, for investment, so that we can look at how to fast track this thing. For government, this trillion you say you are losing is a child play. If we can control this, I believe we can get more money into the Federation of Account, the Federal Government of Nigeria account. And today, I'm happy that I am here. Everybody knows that I'm part of custom. Anything that customs want that we improve their welfare and their operation, I'm always in support. And for them to organize this, it means they want to perform better in their operations, and we should do everything possible as lawmakers to support them in order to succeed. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
Those in support of the welfare of the Nigeria Customs, I say aye. Those against it say nay. So, sir, the ayes have it, sir. Thank you so much for the support, sir. Before I invite the Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, we have a 2-minute interlude from the multimedia team. Are we ready? Go ahead, please.
Oh, noble customs service, vigilance and duty. With clean hands we protect, ever watchful day and night, guarding all our borders against crime and smugglers. Oh, vigilant customs, we serve with steadfast pride. Oh, noble customs service, justice and honesty, clean hands in all respect, our flag that never sleeps, securing all our an oath we wear with pride, with courage as our compass, integrity our watchword. Oh, Nigeria Customs, we love our royal job.
Happy Customs Day 2026. Nigeria Customs, protecting society through vigilance and commitment.
Thank you very much. This song was composed, produced by C.A. Adedayo from the Public Relations Unit of the Nigeria Customs Service. On this note, with the kind permission of the chief host, the Comptroller General of Customs, it is my honor and privilege to most respectfully invite the Honorable Minister of Trade, Industry, and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Oduole, MFR, to come forward for her remarks. The right of,
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Honorable Leke, the Chair of the House Committee on Customs, CG Adewale and his beautiful wife, and all customs officials. It's really a pleasure and a delight to be here to celebrate World Customs Day with you. I was with Ian Saunders at Davos last week, and he told me about the messages. Very, very excited and proud about Nigeria and the time release study. The customs and the work that you do is extremely important to the mandate of the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade, and Investment. And many of you would know that I've worked with many of you for many years since my days at PEBEC. And so I thought it was only fitting. I'm just back in the office today, but when I saw this invitation, I thought it was only fitting that I come and spend a few minutes with Nigeria Customs Service just to commend the work that you do. It is an important mandate, not just trade facilitation, which is particularly dear to my heart, but the vigilance and keeping our borders close. I align with the comments of the Chair of the Customs Committee and your role in national security. So on that note, congratulations, and please keep doing what you do to help facilitation of trade in Nigeria and to deliver on the promise of the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Thank you.
That was the remarks by the Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Oduole, MFR. Please, a round of applause for our hardworking minister. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to invite the #1 custom officer in Nigeria and the chairperson of World Custom Organization Council, the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeni, PhD, MFR, DSM, FNIPR, FNIIA, PSC, DAGA. If your hands are not busy, please a resounding applause for the Comptroller of Customs, General of Customs, as you come forward to the podium, please.
Thank you very much, PRO Daga. You know, something told me that we must have that video, the AI video. Please sit down, please sit down. On 2 occasions, they tried to play the video and there were issues. But I had a gut feeling that we must not miss out the video. So thank God, we do know now that there is somebody in PR unit who's a very good songwriter. Please, a round of applause for the officer who did the, but I need to have a conversation with the AI person. I took a second look at myself. I wasn't too sure if AI was intelligent enough the way I was portrayed. And we saw one officer there, very, very voluminous. I don't know the command where AI saw the officer. But all CACs hereby, you are hereby mandated, directed, with immediate effect to fish out that officer. Let us post him to a place where there are gyms and where he could be of better service to the nation, not in that particular situation. The special guest of honor, the Honorable Minister of State for Finance. In absentia, I have information that she will be joining us very, very soon. She's coming from another program. The Honorable Minister of Trade and Investment, the Chairman, Customs Committee, Honorable Leke Abejide, the representative of the Inspector General of Police, representative of all the other service chiefs here present, distinguished senior officers, our invited guests, award winners, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It's my honor to welcome you all to the commemoration of the International Customs Day and indeed the official launch of the Nigeria Time Release Study as our latest milestone in building a customs administration that concomitantly protects society and facilitates lawful trade. I am grateful to our officers and men, our sister government agencies, the private sector, and our international partners who have joined us on this important occasion. Let me, in a special way, welcome the Secretary General of the World Customs Organization, Ian Saunders, and his team who are joining us virtually as we launch the TRS. As many of you know, the World Customs Organization has dedicated 2026 celebration to the theme, Customs Protecting Society Through Vigilance and Commitment. It is a theme that speaks directly to the mandate of customs and to the experience of our officers at the borders, the ports, and across our various communities. The yearly themes declared by the WCO are not vague aspirations or ceremonial slogans. They convey very concrete meaning linked to the commitments we owe to the society that we serve. Protection is a daily responsibility of customs, while vigilance and commitment describe the mindset and discipline required to distinguish between allowing harm and intercepting them. After more than 3 decades in uniform, I can attest that what the public thinks about customs protecting the society, the focus is often limited to revenue generation or the enforcement of our tariff policies. In Nigeria, it is sometimes reduced further to the image of customs seizing rice, vehicles, or lately, petroleum products. These are legitimate functions, but they are only a fraction of our mandate. True protection is broader and far more complex. It involves intercepting narcotics that would devastate young lives, blocking counterfeit medicines that will harm patients, seizing hazardous environmental materials, preventing arms from reaching criminal networks, and ensuring that the products entering our country are safe for consumption. In many of these cases, the public may never see the intervention, but they will certainly have felt the consequences if we have failed to act. And last year showed very clearly what protecting society looks like in the real world. Across all our commands, officers working with sister agencies disrupted multiple criminal supply chains before they ever reached our communities. And I give you the example of our Papa, the command where we honored the customs area controller. We uncovered 16 containers of prohibited goods worth over 10 billion naira, a single operation that combined narcotics, expired pharmaceuticals, and concealed firearms. At the airports, officers intercepted wildlife, over 1,600 exotic birds being trafficked without CITES permits, stopping a wildlife crime operation that will have harmed both biodiversity and Nigeria's international obligations. Across our land borders, our teams seized illicit narcotics and counterfeit medicines worth hundreds of millions of naira, along with ammunition and other prohibited items moving through covert routes. These operations do not make headlines for long, but their impact is enduring as fewer young people exposed to harmful drugs, fewer weapons reaching criminal networks, fewer counterfeit medicines reaching patients, and fewer endangered species removed from our ecosystem. This is how we protect the society, by preventing funerals, addictions, environmental crimes, and avoidable tragedies before they occur. We recorded over 2,500 seizures with an aggregate value of more than 59 billion in prohibited and harmful goods removed from circulation all over the nation. All of these seizures cut across narcotics, counterfeit products, vehicles, and substandard consumer goods. The most certainly prevented real harm, that of addiction, unsafe treatment, violent crime, subsidy exploitation, environmental degradation, and treaty violations and funerals before they occur. Thank you. However, vigilance must coexist with facilitation. A modern customs administration must be able to detect high-risk consignments without suffocating lawful trade. This is why today's second event, the launch of the time-release study, is significant. The time-release study, TRS, marks a major step towards making Nigeria's trade gateways secure, efficient, predictable, and globally competitive. It signals our commitment to move from opinion-driven reforms to evidence-based reforms, and from complaints-driven policy to data-driven solution. The study conducted at Tinkan Island Port provides us with the most comprehensive measurement of clearance times, clearance performance in our recent history. It reveals encouraging realities and uncomfortable truths. It shows, on the one hand, that examination times themselves are relatively efficient and that Nigeria has the capacity to clear goods quickly. But it shows, on the other hand, that excessive idle periods, often due to fragmented scheduling, manual documentation, and poor coordination, extend clearance times unnecessarily and erode competitiveness. In other words, our challenge is not that we cannot move goods fast. It is that goods are not allowed to move fast. We now have validated clearance timelines covering more than 600 declarations, combining manual timestamps and platform data. We now know with precision how long it takes from booking for examination to physical gate exit, and where bottlenecks exist in between. And armed with such evidence, we are now able to say that the fastest way to protect Nigeria traders and our economy is both through border security and procedural reforms. The TRS that we have another truth, and that is the fact that customs cannot reform the ports alone. Effective trade facilitation requires collaboration, working together of terminal operators, shipping lines, partner government agencies, truckers, brokers, bankers, and all of the ports authorities working together in a synchronized ecosystem rather than in parallel silos. We will therefore be institutionalizing the TRS as a regular diagnostic tool, not as a one-off exercise. Our intention is to monitor, to learn, to reform continuously over future cycles. Earlier, we heard the recommendations of the TRS. To put this in proper perspective, I'd like to invite the attention of all members of the Trade Facilitation Committee. I'm happy that the Honorable Minister who chairs that committee is there. We are going to escalate the report of the TRS to that committee for them to discuss, digest, understand, and analyze it in a better way, because of course the presenter had so much pressure because of time. But just for us to put it in perspective, I'd just like to read 3 key recommendations that we have made. In the immediate, we said that our immediate priorities are to enforce mandatory joint inspection by customs and partner government agencies to replace sequential processing, implementing backup systems for network outages, and deploying expanded non-intrusive inspection equipment with body cams. These actions, combined with improved container logistic coordination, can be executed within the next 1 to 3 months, working together with all our stakeholders. In the short to medium terms, initiatives will focus on digital integration, automating delivery order issuance through Bodogu integration with shipping lines, implementing a centralized truck appointment system, and launching an online real-time clearance performance dashboard, establishing a TRS reform task force, and implementing the coordinated border management framework will help in providing institutional structure for sustained progress. We expect some impact. If we put these reforms together within the next 1 to 3 months, we can begin to see reduction in clearance time by as much as 40%. And if we put it in the perspective of what we saw today, something from 4 days, 21 hours, approximately 5 days, to 2 days, 22 hours. And we also stand to benefit from improved revenue in the tune of about 3 trillion naira for annual savings. And then it will also allow us to align perfectly Nigeria's trade facilitation with AFCFTA and WTO TFA standards. If we are able to do joint inspection alone, it can yield 30 to 40% time reduction while addressing idle time, which currently stands at 90% of the time that we saw in this in this study. And this represents the single largest improvement opportunity. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we protect our society and reform procedures, we must also sustain the financial health of the state. I'm therefore pleased to report that in 2025, the Nigeria Customs Service collected a total of 7,281 billion naira, exceeding the target of 6.5 trillion with a positive variance of 697 billion naira, representing a growth of over 10% against our target. When we compare this to 2024 figures, our total revenue rose from 6.1 trillion to 7.28 trillion, an increase of approximately 1.18 trillion, or about 19% year on year. We present these figures not as a self-congratulation, but as evidence that our reforms are yielding tangible outcomes. The gains came not from arbitrary enforcement or the burdening of legitimate traders, but from improved compliance, better data use, digital tools, and disciplined enforcement. More importantly, this performance was achieved while deepening collaboration with the private sector and upholding the trade facilitation commitment. As we look ahead, the question before us is very simple. How do we sustain this dual mission, that of protecting society and that of enabling prosperity, in our era of very complex supply chains, technology-driven crime, and rising expectations for traders and government alike? We are proposing 3 answers. First, we will invest in an intelligence-led, technology-driven enforcement. Illicit trade has become more sophisticated, and customs must be more sophisticated still. Tools such as risk management, non-intrusive inspection, post-clearance audit, and data analytics will play an increasingly central role. The days when our enforcement depended solely on physical presence and checkpoints are over. The future belongs to digital presence. And second, we will institutionalize procedural reforms that reduce clearance time, increase transparency, and eliminate avoidable bottlenecks. The TRS report is a mirror that shows us how others experience our system, and it has challenged us to respond. We are committed to the implementation of its recommendation, including synchronized inspections, better gate coordination, and improved system interoperability. And finally, we will strengthen partnerships. Customs cannot be everywhere, and it cannot do everything. We will work more closely with other government agencies, the organized private sector, ports and maritime operators, financial institutions, and international bodies such as the WCO. Protection and facilitation are both shared responsibility. And as I close, let me return to the WCO theme. Protecting society through vigilance and commitment is a long-term philosophy and not a one-year slogan. It reminds us that safety and prosperity are not mutually exclusive, and that economy and security are not separate agendas. Finally, customs stands at the nexus of both. I really want to acknowledge the support we have received from His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in our reform process, the Honorable Minister of Trade and Investment, who has demonstrated our support with our presence here, the Secretary General of the World Customs Organization and the team at Brussels for the support that they have given us, and of course the government of the United Kingdom for supporting the TRS program. We must also not forget officers and men of the Nigeria Customs Service, many of them who work in very challenging environments, and of course our partners in government and industry who continue to demonstrate that when we collaborate, Nigeria wins. Let us therefore use this year not only to celebrate customs, but to make it more vigilant, more committed, more transparent, and more efficient. I thank you for your attention. Thank you.
That applause was for the Comptroller General of Customs. Can we have for the chairperson of World Customs Organization in person of Bashir Adewale Adeni, MFR. The Minister of State for Finance will soon be in this hall. Before we receive the Minister, can I invite the multimedia to keep us busy with one of the initiatives by the Comptroller General of Customs to enable trade facilitation, the one-stop shop. Please. Multimedia.
Oga, I just came from valuation. They sent me here. Nana, wow.
Go to Custom Intelligence Unit first and CPC to address your documentation and tariff classification, and come back. Next.
Good morning, sir. Welcome to the Nigerian Customs One-Stop Shop.
One-stop shop? I beg, I don't want to start running up and down again. No.
Pause.
No, you won't need to.
Announcing the arrival of the special guest of honor, the Honorable Minister of State for Finance, Dr. Doris Uzoka Anite. Please, a round of applause for our special guest of honor. Multimedia, start all over again, please.
Oga, I just came from valuation. They sent me here. Nana, wow.
Go to Custom Intelligence Unit first and CPC to address your documentation and tariff classification, and come back. Next.
Good morning, sir. Welcome to the Nigerian Customs One-Stop Shop.
One-stop shop? I beg, I don't want to start running up and down again. No.
No, you won't need to.
Multimedia. Please facilitate the one-stop shop. Okay, thank you very much. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular honor to request the Comptroller General of Customs to invite our special guest of honor, the Honorable Minister of State for Finance, Dr. Doris Uzoka Anite, for a keynote address. Please join me to put your hands together for our special guest of honor.
Please have your seat. Good afternoon, everyone. I know the protocol has already been established, and I'm trying to figure out everybody that's here. I recognize the Chairman House Committee on Customs, our own brother Bejide. Nice to see you here. And I know there are so many distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I also saw the president of NASIMA, and please pardon me, the wife of the CG of Customs representing the custom officers' wives who are present here, all distinguished men and women here present, our stakeholders in the private sector, heads of agencies and parastatals, representatives of different ministries and different ministers. Please, I would like to stand on existing protocol and especially recognizing the distinguished men of the Nigerian Customs Service. It's truly my honor and my pleasure to be here to deliver this keynote address at the official launch of the time-release study in Nigeria. This is held in conjunction with the commemoration of the 2026 International Customs Day under the theme, Customs Protecting Society Through Vigilance and Commitment. I'm also happy to be here. We launched the first one when that was last year, and I'm happy to be here to continue the launch of the time-release study. Let me begin by commending the World Customs Organization, WCO, for its sustained leadership in shaping global customs standards and best practices. We are particularly honored by the goodwill messages and insightful remarks of the Secretary General of the WCO, which reaffirms the importance of evidence-based reforms in modern customs administration. And I hope that happened, even though I came after the goodwill and all the remarks. Let me assume that that was already taking place. I also commend the Nigeria Customs Service under the leadership of the Controller General, CG Bashir Adewale Adeni, MFR, for the comprehensive presentation of the time-release studies outcomes that we've seen, the depth of analysis and professionalism demonstrated by the TRS team reflects a service that is fully aligned with global standards and Nigeria's national economic priorities. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria stands at a critical juncture in its economic history. The federal government, led by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, is implementing bold fiscal, monetary, and structural reforms aimed at stabilizing the macroeconomic environment, strengthening revenue mobilization, improving investor confidence, and accelerating inclusive growth. Central to these efforts is trade facilitation, border efficiency, and effective revenue assurance. It is within this context that the time-release study assumes strategic importance. The TRS initiative is a clear reflection of Mr. President's pledge to the global business community to eliminate obstacles and create a conducive environment for businesses to flourish and for them to invest further in Nigeria. Under the visionary leadership of His Excellency the President, the federal government remains steadfast in its commitment to fostering an environment that supports efficient, transparent, and competitive international trade. The time-release study is not merely a diagnostic tool. It is a strategic policy instrument that enables governments to measure performance, identify bottlenecks, reduce transaction costs, and enhance transparency across the trade ecosystem. By objectively measuring the time required for goods to move across borders, Nigeria is taking a decisive step towards smarter regulation and data-driven decision-making. The successful implementation of the TRS directly supports the federal government's ease of doing business agenda, strengthens Nigeria's competitiveness under ACTA, African Continental Free Trade Area, and reinforces our commitment to predictable, efficient trade procedures. Trade remains a powerful engine of economic growth and development. It provides access to new markets, creates jobs, and has the potential to lift millions of people out of poverty. Indeed, a World Bank study shows that developing countries, when they increased their share of global exports from 16% to 30% between 1990 and 2017, the same period, global trade declined from 36% to 9%, clearly demonstrating the transformative power of global trade. However, a nation can only fully harness the benefits of global trade when robust and effective trade facilitation measures are firmly in place, and this is what we seek to achieve with the implementation of the TRS. Given the critical role of trade in driving economic growth and prosperity, Nigeria must continue to enhance its competitiveness through initiatives such as the TRS. And in today's global economy, competitiveness is increasingly defined by speed, certainty, and compliance, and customs plays a central role in all these three. Beyond trade facilitation, the Nigerian Customs Service continues to play a critical role in non-oil generation, national security, and the protection of the society. They do this through enhanced risk management, technology deployment, interagency collaboration, and post-clearance controls. The service has demonstrated that revenue growth and trade facilitation are not mutually exclusive, but mutually reinforcing. And for this, I commend all of you. As chairman of the Nigeria Customs Service Board, I assure all stakeholders of the federal government's unwavering support for reforms that strengthen institutional capacity, promote transparency, and modernize border management. The insights generated from the time release study will inform future policy actions, infrastructure investments, and operational improvements across our ports and border stations. The success of the TRS, and indeed customs reform, will depend on sustained collaboration among government agencies, the private sector, development partners, and the trading community. I therefore call on all stakeholders to continue working closely with the Nigerian Customs Service to translate the findings of this study into tangible improvements that benefit our economy and our citizens. And as I come to the end of my remarks, I must once again express how honored I am to be in the midst of all dedicated officers and men of the Nigerian Customs Service, an institution uniquely entrusted with three critical national responsibilities: security, revenue generation, and trade facilitation. Your professionalism and commitment remain central to Nigeria's economic transformation. I therefore encourage the officers and men of the Nigerian Customs Service to remain proud of their noble calling and to be resolute in the pursuit of excellence. Yours is a service that stands at the crossroads of national security, economic prosperity, and global engagement. Every inspection conducted with integrity, every process improved, and every reform faithfully implemented strengthens public trust, boosts investor confidence, and moves our nation closer to its full economic potential. Be assured that the federal government and, of course, the Federal Ministry of Finance stands firmly with you as partners in progress, and we are committed to providing and supporting you with tools and leadership required for you to continue delivering on this vital mandate. In conclusion, I congratulate the Customs Service on the successful conduct and launch of the time release study, as well as on the commemoration of the 2026 International Customs Day. I am confident that your initiative will further position Nigeria as a trade-friendly, reform-oriented, and globally competitive economy. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm sure we can give the Honorable Minister for State Finance another resounding applause. May I once again request the Comptroller General of Customs to invite the Honorable Minister, special guest of honors, for the unveiling of the report and a group photo. Yes, sir. The Chairman, House Committee on Customs, UK High Commissioner, MPA, Nigeria Port Authority, TMP, we have the IGP of Police, we have a the Nigeria Time Release Study Report, Tinkan Island Port, Nigeria 2024, prepared by the Nigeria Customs Service. The TRS was conducted with the capacity building and technical assistance from the World Customs Organization under the WCO Accelerate Trade Facilitation Program, supported by the United Kingdom's His Majesty's Revenue and Customs we can come forward to the stage for the group photograph. AC2 Adejo, please take over. No, we can. It's okay. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Please, special guest of honor, you still remain. CGC, sir. Special guest of honor, CGC remain. Other guests, please have your seats. Esteemed management members of the Nigerian Customs Service, please quickly, let's join the Honorable Minister and the CGC for the next photograph. Honorable CGC, sir, Honorable Special Guest of Honor, please, the management team members of the Nigerian Customs Service will have the next photograph with you, sir, please. Yes, same place, sir. Management team members, please.
The photographers advise that it should be on the stage. I don't know. Advice. The photographers advise, let it be. No, he said it's aesthetic with this.
This thing is rotated. Yes. Okay. Sorry. The CGC on one side, the Honorable Minister on one side, then the rest can spread across. That's what the photographer suggested, sir. That this podium will be aesthetic, centralized. Okay, this is innovations.
All ACGs down.
Both of them say so. All right. Thank you very much, our special guest of honor, CGC. and all our special guests. Next, it will be the vote of thanks, and the vote of thanks will be taken by no other than the Deputy Comptroller General of Customs, in charge of Finance, Administration, and Technical Services, FATS, DCJ Kikelomo Adeola, PSA Daga.
The special guest of honor, Honorable Minister of State for Finance, Dr. Doris Uzoka-Anite, the Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade, Investment, Madam Jumoke Oduwole, MFR, the Chairman, Senate Committee on Customs, the Chairman, House Committee on Customs, Honorable Leki Abejude, the Chief Host, the Comptroller General of Customs and World Customs Organization Council Chairperson, Dr. Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, MFR PSA Daga, the UK High Commissioner to Nigeria, Ms. Wojina, representative of heads of military and paramilitary organizations, the Inspector General of Police, Olukayode Egbetogun, NPM, represented by Assistant Inspector General of Police, Zone 7, Victor Olayi, PSA Daga, representative of Ministry and head of other government agencies here present, members of management team of Nigerian Customs Service, members of Manufacturer Association of Nigeria, shipping lines, terminal operators, National Association of Government Approved Freight Forwarders, NAGAF, Association of Nigerian Customs Licensed Agents, Customs Consultative Committee, senior officers here present, other stakeholders present, other distinguished invited guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Nigerian Customs Service, and indeed all stakeholders in Nigerian maritime industry, I have the honor to deliver the vote of thanks at the conclusion of today's highly significant event, marking the 2026 International Customs Day and the official launch of the time release study. We express our profound appreciation to Her Excellency, the Honorable Minister of State for Finance, for our inspiring keynote address on national outlook and unwavering leadership, a commendation of what Nigerian Customs Service is doing, and for our encouragement on collaboration to reinforce central role of efficiency of border management that Nigerian Customs Service is doing. We also appreciate Alexander, the WCO Section, for his wealth and encouragement for us to use WCO standard guidance and tool to improve and ensure that Nigerian Customs Service remains vigilant and committed to protecting Nigerian borders. We are also deeply grateful to the distinguished chairman of House Committee on Customs for his presence and sustained legislative support, which remains critical to strengthening customs reforms, institutional accountability, and policy alignment in national interest. Our sincere appreciation also goes to the British High Commissioner and the government of the United Kingdom, particularly His Majesty Revenue Customs, for their enduring partnership, technical assistance, and funding support that made the successful execution of time-release study possible. This collaboration exemplifies the value of international cooperation in advancing global best practices at the national level. We acknowledge the deep respect the World Customs Organization has for their leadership, for their technical guidance, and continued commitment to customs modernization worldwide. The time-release study conducted under the WCO Accelerate Trade Facilitation Program reflects the organization's vision for evidence-based reform and coordinated border management, and we are honored by the support and engagement they are giving us. Distinguished guests, we extend our appreciation to the heads and representatives of government agencies whose collaboration across the international trade value chain and mandate is essential to reducing clearance times, improving compliance, and protecting society. The TRS findings clearly demonstrate that synchronized action among agencies is the key to unlocking efficiency across our ports and borders. We equally thank our private sector partners, including port operators, terminal operators, shipping lines, freight forwarders, licensed custom agents, and the wider trading community. Your participation, cooperation, and candid engagement through this time-release study process have ensured that its findings are practical, credible, and reflective of real operational realities. Special recognition is due to all development partners, technical teams, and stakeholders who work tirelessly behind the scene to ensure the successful completion of the time-release study. The data, insights, and recommendations generated particularly on reducing idle time, improving joint inspection, and enhancing digital integration provide a solid foundation for measurable improvements across Nigerian trade ecosystem. Finally, we appreciate the Comptroller General of Customs, the management, and officers of the Nigerian Customs Service, especially the Strategic Research and Policy Department and the TRS implementation team for their professionalism, dedication, and commitment to reform in the national interest. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today's event is not an end, but a beginning, a collective call to action to translate evidence into reform, partnership into progress, and commitment into results for the Nigeria economy. Thank you all for your presence, your partnership, and your continued support. Let it not be a goodbye, but a heartfelt gratitude till we meet again. God bless you all.
Shall we all rise to recite the national pledge of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? After the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, go. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend her unity, and uphold her honor and glory. So help me God. And on this note, we have come to the end of this occasion. Thank you for coming, and we wish you all a safe journey and back to your respective destinations. Thank you. Multimedia, thank you for job well done. And please, all those we could